What's happening, everybody? Have you started planting for your spring plant? I haven't, but that's what we're doing today. Let's get into it. What's happening, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hope you, your friends, family are all safe, healthy, and happy in this crazy world that we're living in. Today, we are going to get into our spring plant. It's first couple of days of March. I'm a little late, but we're going to get into it anyway. Better late than never, right? So get your planting done if you haven't started. Hey, so today we're going to plant. I'm going to start with this. We're going to plant some onions, some basil, and some peppers in this. Okay, I got another planter that we'll get to later in the video, but this is what we're going to start with. So we're going to start out with some onions. And if you got a bunch of seeds, I love this thing. So this is for pictures. It's supposed to be for pictures. Got it off the A store. And as you can see, each one holds your seeds. So today we're gonna do some onions. We're gonna start out with some onions. See if I can get that in there. There we go. Some onions, and I have a few different packets of onions, and I just keep them all in there. So today we are going to start with some burpee onion bush hybrid. Okay, so we're going to start with these. These will be the bulb onions. I also have bunching onions, like green onions, that have been out there for 2 years. One of them is going on the 3rd year, so they just keep growing through the year. So just keep trimming them, and they just keep growing. So I don't need to plant any bunching onions or green onions, but we do need some bulb onions. So that's what we're going to start with. Let's go. I know it's been a while since I've had a video, and you know, it was winter time, wasn't doing a whole lot. So I got to start my planting indoors now. We're going to start with the bunching onions. Or I'm sorry, the bulb onions, and I need a lot of them. So I'm going to have a whole 4 foot by 2 foot raised garden bed just full of onions. Like if you look at one of my last videos, I had all of the garlic in one bed. So we're also going to have onions in one bed because we need a bunch of them. So these are the burpee bush hybrid onions. You're supposed to plant them right after your first frost. At least outside. I'm going to plant them indoors. 12 inches apart, 1/4 inch deep. The seedlings will emerge in 7 to 14 days. Plant them 3 inches apart-ish, something like that. And they will be ready to harvest in 106 days. So I'll be tracking that on my spreadsheet. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to plant 30 onion bulbs. I'm not going to bore you kind of going through. Maybe I'll just kind of speed this up while I'm planting these. But we're going to start with the onions and go from there. All right, here we go. Here's what the onion seeds look like. They're pretty small. And normally when I plant, I always plant 2 in the same cell, just in case one doesn't come through. So I'm going to plant these. So we're planting 30. So I'm going to end up using 60 seeds. If I have to thin them out later, I'll thin them out. Or I'll just move them and plant them somewhere else. So 30 cells, 60 seeds. Here we go. All right, that's it. It's that simple. 30 cells of onions planted, 60 seeds, because I plant 2 in each cell just in case. So yeah, so we're good with onions for now. Put these back in our little case. throw them back in there. And like I said, we're going to also go do peppers. So last year I did bullnose peppers, just regular green peppers, some flavor burst peppers, same thing, just a different brand. And then I also did some poblanos. Those things were pretty hot. I can't do a lot of spice, a lot of hot stuff, stomach issues, but so I'm not going to do poblanos this year because I still have a bunch in the freezer. But I am going to do the bullnose peppers and the flavor burst peppers, and I'm going to do 2 cells of each, 2 seeds in each cell. The bullnose pepper, again from Burpee. These harvest in 60 to 80 days, 1/4 inch deep. Seedlings emerge in 10 to 21 days, and they need some heat to them. So while I have them in the house, I also have a grow light that I will have on these, so that'll help out the peppers. Okay, bullnose peppers, let's go. All right, here's your pepper seeds. That's what they look like. These are the bullnose, so we're planting 2 in each cell. All right, so that's the bullnose pepper. And what I use these little posts, or whatever you want to call them, labels, and that's what I put in. So I'm going to put that one here because all these rows have onions in them. There's the bullnose pepper. We're going to put that one here because these 2 cells have them. And next we'll get the flavor burst. I don't have the info on the flavor burst anymore. I bought these a couple of years ago. Took some seeds out the last 2 years and saved them, so that's what I'm planting with now. And like before, here's your flavor burst seeds. We have our tag and putting it there. All right, so that's what we have for this container. I still have 2 cells that are open, and what I'm putting in there is some sweet basil. Last year I had like 6 basil plants, and it was just way too much. I ended up giving 3 plants away to the neighbors. It was just way too much. So this year, I'm only going to plant 2. Of course, 2 in each cell, so I could end up with 4 plants. And that's okay. That'll be enough. So sweet basil, again from Burpee. Harvesting when the buds come up or when the leaves are good, right? So 1/4 inch deep, and seedlings start to emerge in 7 to 14 days. So these won't take long either. So sweet basil, let's go. All right, here's your basil seeds. You got to be careful with these. These are small, right? Like pinhead small. So be careful with those. Sweet basil, 2 in each cell. I'm using the label that I've used for the last couple of years, sweet basil. It's not the same brand, but just so I don't have to waste labels. So there we go. We got onions, 30 cells, 2 cells of basil, 2 cells of bullnose peppers, and 2 cells of flavor burst peppers. So what I'll do, if you've never seen these things, these are awesome. I'll put water down in the bottom, that way they're constantly watered and take as much as they need. And I'll keep that, pretty full until I'm ready to take them outside. So first I'm going to go through and just poke the holes where I want to plant. This is a tray of another 32 planters. If you punch in your seed holes first, it makes it a whole lot easier and go a lot quicker. Sometimes you got to watch out for sticks, little twigs. Now remember, most of these you're only planting like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch deep, so it doesn't have to be very deep. All right, so in these cells today, I'm going to be planting the tomatoes and cucumbers, some squash, some bush beans, and a couple of herbs or flowers like yarrow and chamomile. So we're going to be putting those in here so that they're ready to go. First, we'll start out with the tomatoes. All right, the first tomato that we're going to start out with is the early girl tomatoes. I bought these a couple of years ago. I've used them for a couple of years now. Kept the seeds, things like that. I love these things. They're the size of a baseball, but they're so good, and they're great for sauces and salsa. So we made a ton of salsa last year. Made a little bit of sauce, tomato sauce, for like spaghetti and stuff like that. So I want a bunch more tomatoes this year because we need a whole lot more sauce. We're just about out. Lasted us through the winter, so it's good, but definitely need some more for next winter. All right, so early girl tomatoes first. Let's go. Here's your early girl tomato seeds. They look a lot like the pepper seeds, so don't get them confused. So because these are bigger cells, I'm going to plant two. I'm going to have 2 holes in each cell, which means 2 seeds in each hole. So 4 seeds per plant. And here we go with the early girls. All right, so we got 2 cells, early girls. We have our tags. I'm going to put 1 tag in each one of these now. A little bit different from the last one. Next are the giant pink Belgian tomatoes from Burpee. Now these need a well-lighted area for 6 to 8 weeks before planting outdoors. I'm probably not going to do that. 1/4 inch deep. Seeds will start emerging in 7 to 10 days and at least 3/4 inches apart. So we'll go from there. Giant pink Belgium. So these are quite a bit bigger. They're going to be about softball size, maybe just a little bit smaller. I don't want to do a whole lot of the real big, meaty, beefy tomatoes this year. We used some last year, and when you do sauces and salsa and stuff like that, you end up throwing like half of it out because the cores are so big. And there's quite a bit of seeds in them too. So I'm not going to do very many of the big beefy tomatoes like I did last year. But giant pink Belgiums, they grew great last year, so I'm going to do them again this year. They are bigger, but they were good and less of a core than some of the other ones. So here we go. All right, so there's the giant pink Belgium seeds. You got to be careful. We'll take a look at your seeds. So if you can see this one here, very small, and it really doesn't look like there's a seed in it. So we're going to take that one out, and we'll plant these others. 2 cells, 2 holes per cell, 8 seeds. Giant pink Belgium label. All right, next is the Gardener's Delight tomato from Burpee. This is more of a very big cherry tomato, maybe the size of a golf ball. I had 4 plants last year of these, and I probably picked 50 to 60 dozen of tomatoes off of these things. These are amazing and they're so good. You should try these out if you haven't. Burpee, Gardener's Delight. These things, once again, 6 to 8 weeks before planting outdoors. 1/4 inch deep, 7 to 10 days, the seedlings start to emerge, and 3 to 4 inches apart. So, Gardener's Delight, I'm going to plant 4 cells of these, 2 in each cell, because I love them so much, and they produce so good that I'm going to plant more of these than any of the others. All right, here we go. All right, Gardener's Delight. 4 cells, 2 holes in each cell, 2 seeds in each hole. All right, because I have 4 cells of these, I'm just going to use 1 tag. Next tomato is the Bloody Butcher. These are pretty good. A little bigger, but not quite as big as like a softball. A little bit bigger than a baseball. So these are pretty good too. Bloody Butcher. These harvest in about 55 days, 6 to 8 weeks before planting outdoors. 1/4 inch deep, and seedlings emerge 7 to 10 days. Let's get them in. I put one in the wrong hole. So I guess we're going to put them over there. Got our tag. We actually need to make 2 for this one because here's another tag. We need 2 of these because I put it in the wrong one. I wanted to put it here. Wanted to put it here, but I ended up putting it here. It's okay. We just move on. Next ones are the San Marzano. These are fantastic for tomato paste. So we made a bunch of tomato paste last year. It was about like a tablespoon of paste, and then we just threw them in a Ziploc and threw them in the freezer so we can use them whenever we want. So tomato paste with the San Marzanos. 6 to 8 weeks. These start harvesting in 80 days. Seedlings emerge 7 to 10 days, 3 to 4 inches apart. So these are very good. I had 2 of these plants last year and maybe 4 or 5 dozen, something like that. I had a lot of blossom end rot on these. So you want to make sure that you watch your calcium with these San Marzanos. Otherwise you get that blossom end rot where the bottom of the tomato is black. Yeah, not very good. I mean, you can cut it off and use the rest of it, but hey, wasting stuff. So San Marzanos, blossom end rot, make sure your calcium is good. Here we go. Got our tag. Put it there. And we're good for the next. So you can see how easy this is. Drop a couple seeds in the dirt. And I'll show you at the end, but in the bottom of this green container down here is where I'm going to put the water in so that the vegetables can get water from below and keep hydrated until I'm ready to plant outside. So the next ones that we have are the brandywines. Now brandywines, these are quite a bit bigger too. The first year I tried these, I didn't grow any. Something happened with them, they just didn't grow. So I tried them last year and I got a few off them. So this year I'm going to try them one more time, see how they go. Brandywine. So these ones, the seedlings start to emerge in 5 to 10 days. They should be 24 to 36 inches apart. And you can start harvesting 76 to 100 days. So all of my tomato plants have always lasted me throughout the entire gardening season, right? They're not like squash or cucumbers, which will die out and then you just replant, or plant weeks apart. So that way you constantly have growth. So when your first plants die out, your next ones have already come up and they've started to grow fruit already. So Brandywine tomatoes, here we go. Brandywine seeds, I got just enough left. Packet's empty now, so we're done with those. And we'll plant these in. Don't forget to take out your wood chips. Got our label. All right, so that's all the tomatoes that I'm doing, but that's still like 28 tomato plants. Different kinds, different types for different purposes. So make sure that you think about what you want tomatoes for and plant the different types. Plant a couple at a time. That way you have backups in case one of the seeds doesn't sprout. So enjoy your tomatoes. Next, we're going to do cucumbers. All right, starting out with our cucumbers, we're going to start with some bush pickle hybrid cucumbers. I like these because I did can some pickles last year that we still have a couple of jars, but these are fantastic. They're so good. Made some dill pickles. They were delicious. These were fantastic for the dill pickles. Garden bush pickle hybrid. Very good. So we're going to plant a couple of these. Here's your cucumber seeds, bush pickle hybrids. I'm going to do 2 cells of these, 2 holes in each, 2 seeds in each hole. Got our tag. Now the bush pickle cucumbers, days to germinate is 8 to 10, half-inch depth, 4-foot spacing between each one, and days to harvest is 43 to 45 days. So these are going to take a little while. So in 20 days or so, maybe plant another one, because these will die out in June, end of June, July-ish, something like that. So if you plant another set at the end of May, they'll be ready to go and they'll start producing by the time your first set dies off. Next cucumber we're doing is a Soyo Long. These are cucumbers. They'll be, I don't know, 1 foot long, 1.5 feet long, something like that, and maybe 2 inches around, something like that. So these are quite a bit different, but these are great for snacking on. These are the Soyo Longs. Harvest in 60 days. Seedlings will emerge in 7 to 14 days. And if you need to thin them out once they're like 2 to 3 inches tall. That's it. Here we go. Got our tag. The whole plant here is jacked up because I messed up the Bloody Butcher tomatoes. And our last cucumber is the Sweet Success Hybrid. These are pretty much the same thing as the Soyo Longs. Long, 1.5 feet long, something like that. Pretty skinny, great for snacking, great for salads and sandwiches and stuff like that. I did make pickle chips out of these, dill pickle chips, and they were pretty good too. So they can be used for a bunch of different stuff. So Sweet Success Hybrid, cucumbers, harvest in 58 days. Seedlings emerge in 7 to 14 days. This will be up on some trellises. So we're going to try these out again. They were pretty good last year. Here we go. Got our tag. All right, and that's it for what I'm going to do for the cucumbers this year. We had the bush pickle, the soya long, and the Sweet Success. All very good cucumbers. And next what we're going to do is squash. And the first one that we're going to do is actually a winter squash, so we'll see how it works out. Acorn squash. So I haven't tried these yet. I bought them at the end of last year to try out this year. And you'll be able to harvest these in 85 days. Seeds should be 36 inches apart, and seedlings will emerge in 10 to 14 days. Here's your squash seeds. Almost look like pumpkin seeds. So same thing, 2 cells, 2 holes in each cell, 2 seeds in each hole. Now, again with the acorn squash, it is a winter squash, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to turn out, but we're going to try it anyway. The next one that we're going to do is the cocoa zelly squash. These grew okay last year, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see, plant them 1 inch deep, 24 inches apart. They sprout in 7 to 10 days, and you can start harvesting in 60 days. Now, I didn't plan very well. I'm out of tags, so I'm gonna have to use my cheat sheet here to remember which one is which. The next one that we're going to do, Sure Thing Hybrid. These are from Burpee. I usually get most of my seeds from either Burpee or Gardener. Some of these other ones were ones that I bought like at Lowe's or something a couple of years ago. So, but now I get most of my seeds from Burpee or Gardener. So shout out to those two. Sure Thing squash. All right, the last vegetable that I'm going to do today is 3-color garden bean. Right, 3-color blend, and I'll show you these seeds here in a minute. So when you plant these, they'll come out, the actual beans will come out as different colors. All right, so in the 3-color blend, you see that the beans are different colors. These will be kind of a brownish. These ones will be purple. And these will be the regular green beans. So they'll be different colors as they come out and they grow. I'm putting these all in one container, 2 in each hole. So we'll see what happens, but that's kind of what we're doing for today. Okay, so that's the 3-color blend garden green bean. You can harvest these in 50 to 60 days. They should be 18 to 30 inches apart because it's a bush, so they do grow quite wide. And the seedlings will emerge 7 to 14 days. So that's the beans. All right, so that's all the vegetables I'm going to do today. Now we're going to do a couple of flowers and herbs. First one's going to be chamomile. This stuff is great in teas and things like that. I have a spreadsheet on the computer where all of the herbs, what they're good for, and I make tinctures and things like that. So next one's chamomile. Here's your chamomile seeds. I don't know if you can see them, but they are extremely small. Incredibly small. So I'm just going to put a few in each hole that I have. And they're so small, I don't know if I have any left on my hand, so I'm just going to drop it on the top of that. See what happens. All right, next is yarrow. Whole lot of purposes for yarrow, medicinal and things like that. Now, when I bought the yarrow, they came in this little container. And I know these are extremely small too. Here's your yarrow seeds. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll put a few in each hole. And the last one that we're doing today is rosemary. Again, I got these at like Lowe's or something like that. These did not do very well for me last year, so I'm going to try them again. A lot of these herbs and flowers and stuff that I have, I do dehydrate them, so that way we can use them later on and they don't go bad. Now, rosemary seeds are a little bit bigger, so a little easier to work with, but they're still pretty small. I'm just doing one cell of these, 2 seeds each hole. All right, everybody, that's what we have for today. The tomatoes and cucumbers and squash, yarrow, rosemary, chamomile. We got just about everything we need. Of course, I'll be planting a lot more things. I just don't need to plant them indoors. So that's what we did today. Give them a few weeks and I can transplant them outside. That's the plan. That's what we're doing today. So I appreciate you stopping in. Hey, let me know down in the comments what you're planting this year in the spring. Let me know how you did last year, you know, and comment on some other people's comments as well. I appreciate you. Hey, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out, trying to grow this channel. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So everybody have a fantastic week and be good to each other.